Bulldogs, and out of the Big East, the Villanova Wildcats. Hi, everybody. Welcome back inside Lee Amphitheater alongside former UVA Cavalier Madison Morey. I'm Justin Galanti. Fun match earlier today. Madison with Colgate beating Fairfield in 4 sets. Now we get our first look of the season at home at the 2-time reigning Ivy League champions, who are virtually impossible to beat here.
It's also really exciting to see because Yale has a big home court advantage. They have won the last 22 matches here, and so it will be exciting to see what they do tonight.
Let's check out our players to watch. You feel like if Villanova has a chance to end that streak tonight, Abby Harrell has to have a huge match.
Right now on the season, Abby Harrell has 75 kills, and last year she was known as the Big East Rookie of the Year. Already an impressive start to the season.
Let's talk about the Yale setter, Carly Deal. She was the Ivy League Player of the Year last year. She was an All-American, and 2024 is off to a great start again.
And once again, after one weekend, already at 16 kills and 116 assists. I'm very excited to see what she's going to do on the court tonight.
All-time meeting between Yale and Villanova. Pretty competitive series. 4-3 is the Yale advantage. So it's been pretty good when these two meet. A 5-setter back in September of 2022 in the last meeting, and we'll see what tonight has in store. This Villanova program, right? We mentioned, Madison, what Yale's done lately. Villanova won 17 games last year. It was the first time that they've made the Big East tournament and had a winning record since 2019. So they are looking to build on what they did a season ago. It's still a young team with Harrell, who we mentioned, who was a freshman last year, obviously a sophomore now. Campbell McKinnon, their freshman middle blockers, off to a great start this season. So it's a young group, obviously in a very competitive conference, looking to build on success from last season.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that preseason is the time to do that. This is when you use your time to find that lineup, find what works, find what doesn't work. You use this time to try out different lineups, to try out different plays, to try out different rotations. Like I said, to see what works and what does not. And you mentioned McKinnon. Last weekend, she had a career high with 17 kills and hit a 500. And McKinnon and Nelson were both named all-tournament teams. So it's, you know, they're running off a high. They're running off a great weekend. And I'm going to be really excited to see what they do tonight against Yale. I think it will be a great game.
Villanova is 3-3, wins against Binghamton, Loyola of Maryland, and Princeton. Losses to Santa Clara, Notre Dame, and Old Dominion. Alyssa Nelson, the freshman out of Wildwood, Missouri, will serve for Villanova. And we are underway in the night match here in New Haven. Deal sets it up for the middle hitter, Larice Abraham, and a good start for Yale and the sophomore Abraham. Abraham emerged in the middle of last season and in the middle of the court for Yale during her first year, and she was spectacular in the postseason for the Bulldogs. Misses fairly badly with that serve, and it's 1-1. What's it like? Obviously, you had this when you played on the home side and not the home side. What's it like being the home team in one of these invitationals at the start of the season?
It's surreal. I mean, you're there and you obviously have home court advantage, and you have your fans in the stands. You have your family in the stands. You have a great weekend where you are able to play multiple games and just get used to your home court once again. I mean, yeah, you're practicing in it every single day, but playing in it for the first time in almost a year, obviously you get some jitters. You're back out in front of everyone. It's not the same as practice. And so having a home court advantage is obviously huge to have, especially in a preseason tournament like this.
So in the first match today, it took more than 40 points as Gigi Barr gets the kill. 40 points into the match before we had our first service error. We had 3 of the first 4 points of this match, but Gigi Barr gets Yale a 3-2 lead here.
You know, right now I think it's all about those jitters. Yale and Villanova haven't played yet today, and I think that, you know, this is their first game. This is their first game, and Yale's home to get their jitters out, to get their nerves out, and be ready to compete. And, you know, both teams are great. It's not unlikely for little errors to happen like this at the beginning of a game. And so I think it's totally normal. I think obviously Yale's starting to get the crowd involved. They're running their middles. They're doing some great things right now. And I think these little errors are just something that they're going to push right by, and they'll start cleaning up as we go on throughout the game.
Gigi Barr, a two-time honorable mention All Ivy League selection with back-to-back kills for Yale. Schultz with a serve that's a little long. And Villanova is back within 4-3. Now the Wildcats are without their head coach tonight, Josh Steinbach, who is under the weather. So Joe Portland's top assistant is serving as the head coach tonight and likely throughout the weekend. Someone you know very well, Madison.
I know. Joe was actually my coach when I was a freshman at UVA, or first year at UVA, sorry. And so it was really exciting to be reunited with him today and be able to see him and catch up. The last time I saw him, we were playing with COVID. We were all wearing neck gaiters, so he was joking around saying he can actually see what I'm trying to say to him now, which is quite funny. And it's, you know, we're not hiding, and it's not COVID or anything anymore. So
you had no idea what he actually looked like.
I had no idea.
Villanova sets one up in the middle. Betsy Goodnow got her hands on it. Schultz kept the point alive. Second chance for the Wildcats. Harrell, Bella Mendoza got her hands to it. Betsy Goodnow, the sophomore, misses a little long. And Villanova has it at 5-4. Betsy Goodnow last season as a first year for Yale was second team All Ivy League. 234 kills, second on the team. And she's off to another good start, leading Yale with 42 kills through 3 matches this year.
You know, right now, what I really like that both of these teams are starting out doing is they are running their middles. I mean, right now in defense and serve receive, these teams are running their middles, and they are not afraid to do it. And I think that's something we didn't see as much in the last game.
Big block there. Kat Young and Ozzy Azuno make it 5-5. Villanova was 11th in the Big East in blocks per set last year, so anything they can get in that area is kind of a bonus for the Wildcats. Five combined service errors, 11 points into this match. Betsy Goodnow serving now. Right side hitter from Lenexa, Kansas. Kat Young tried the tip shot. Deal sets up Mendoza, and she is stuffed.
Right now, Villanova's block is carrying them. I mean, they are reading these sets, these plays that Yale is running, and they are committing to this swing. And it is pretty impressive to see at such an early start. It reminds me of Fairfield's block game. I mean, it was very strong. And I think that both teams right now are super committed to this offense and are trying to get as many hands as they can on this ball and shut it down.
So Mendoza back to serve now, the junior out of Miami. Had some really good performances in the non-conference last year. Didn't play as much in Ivy League play. Figures to have a bigger role this year. Mendoza with the diving play to keep the point alive. Lauren Kellen puts it over. Free ball chance for Villanova. Back to the middle. Aria Jew got her hands under it. Kellen cross court, missed wide. Point Wildcats.
I think Yale's calling there's a touch on that.
And Erin Appleman. Looks like she was thinking about challenging it.
What a beautiful dig on that play by Aria. She was right there. She got right under it. She dug her hands under it. She was right there, and that was a beautiful up.
So 7-7, and number 7 is serving, Alyssa Nelson. Freshman center, was a high school All-American at Lafayette High School in Missouri. Deal goes to Abraham, who powers it through the floor.
Abraham is a force to be reckoned with. Right now, Deal is serving her because she is putting these balls down. She is aiming for those deep corners, and she is attacking it like no other. It's so easy for a middle to go up and just want to hit it on the 10-foot line. But that's not what Abraham is doing. She's finding those corners. She's finding where the defenders are not, and she's hitting it there, and that is not going anywhere.
Backline swing from Goodnow, handled easily by Nelson. A dig for Hallie Sherlock. And a bit of a miss hit there by Betsy Goodnow.
Interesting to see Goodnow come out of the middle back. I mean, she is right side. Usually right side is playing in the right back position. They just had her run that out of the middle back, especially as a lefty. I think that's an interesting technique to use because she's going to be able to have more range to hit those corners.
A joust. It ended up on the Villanova side. They go back to the middle, and McKinnon, who we mentioned has had a great year so far, gives Villanova a 9-8 advantage. Seems like this game, Madison, is being played at a little bit just overall a faster pace than the first one we saw today.
Yeah, I think both teams came ready to play. I think they are just powerhouses. I mean, they haven't competed since 2022, and it was a competitive game then. I think we're going to see another competitive, probably 5-set thriller tonight. I mean, these teams look like they're battling. There's energy. They're both fighting. They're both siding out next point. I think that's what this game is about, and it's already impressive to see what level these teams are bringing to this match with only us being in 17 points. I think that's crazy.
Carly Deal to serve. Among all the things she does well, serving is one of them. And Gigi Barr and Betsy Goodnow block really well, too. Deal with 10 aces this year to lead Yale. She's a 2-time first team All-Ivy League selection, 3-time All-Conference on any team, and again was the Player of the Year and an All-American last season.
When she's behind that service line, she puts so much power mixed with clean contact on the ball, which makes that a very difficult ball to pass. I mean, ball's coming fast, so you have to control it. It's also coming very clean, so you have to have your platform in the right angle for it to go where you want it to. And I think that her serve, obviously, no wonder she already has 10 aces after the first weekend. I mean, it's very impressive what she can do with that serve.
Deal goes to Barr, and it's 3 kills already for Gigi Barr, the senior from Elmhurst, Illinois. It's kind of interesting, in the Colgate-Fairfield match, it was 3-1. So it wasn't a blowout, but none of the sets were close.
Right.
So this is our first look today at kind of a back and forth stretch of volleyball.
Exactly. I think both teams are doing a great job with the speed of the offense and siding out quickly. I mean, I think very strong right now to see the scrappiness, the defense, the grit that each team is getting. And I think each team also has a ton of energy right now. They're both very excited to be back in the sport, and Yale probably to be back on their home court. And so I think this is very impressive. And, we're seeing it with these long rallies right now. And the crowd erupting with that beautiful swing by Goodnow.
This was our longest rally of the match, and it ends with Betsy Goodnow putting one through the floor. Kara Schultz serving. A couple years ago, led the Ivy League in aces. And we have a call against Villanova, and it's 14-10.
So one of the unique NCAA rules this year is double contact. I mean, usually those are called from the setter, and that is when a setter sets a ball, and if it comes out of their hands with any spin or movement on it, it used to be a double contact. Well, that would result in a point for the other team immediately. But now, they don't call doubles on setters anymore. They will only call them on the third contact over, which what we just saw, it was called a double contact because it came out of her hands with spin and twist on the ball, which I find really unique because usually it only came from setters. And now setters are able to just dish out any set with no spin, anything. And I just find that really unique how that rule had changed. And now it's very different this year.
First kill there for Harrell, who was not only the Big East Rookie of the Year, but also the ECAC Rookie of the Year last year. This season, preseason, all Big East. Ju sets it up for Mendoza. She goes cross court and gives Yale the 4-point lead and takes us to our first media timeout. The last time Yale was on this court, they captured an Ivy League tournament championship. First time back this year and off to a good start against Villanova.
It's contributing its weights. I mean, some of them are on this court and they are taking over and they are taking control of this team and starting something new. It's always exciting to see a good rebuild and a good program rebuild and see how players step up during this time. I think it really defines who a program is and where the team wants the program to go. So I think Villanova's already on the right step, and I think that they're going to be doing a great job continuing to rebuild and use their momentum and winning season from last season and take it into this one.
Another kill for Goodnow. She has 3 of those. Gigi Barr has 3 as well. Goodnow on serve. Kat Young, Goodnow digs it. Ju sets it up. Mendoza. Really nice change of pace there.
I think she read the block really well, but also one underrated, skill that a bro has to have is out of system setting. They've always got to take that second ball if that setter takes that first. Right now, Ju is doing a great job of controlling that ball and putting it in the perfect location for her hitters. I think it is very important to have that skill and for the hitters to be able to adjust to that set so they are able to get a good contact over for that third ball and cause chaos. And I think that's exactly what they just illustrated for us.
There's Elizabeth Fezco serving. Tough swing there for Abraham. Big chance for Villanova. Goodnow with the dig. Deal pops it up, and Schultz has to put it over. Over on 2. That's really well done.
I mean, that was very clean the way it came out of her hand. You saw her look over before she did it. You saw her look at her blockers, look at the positioning. I think that caught everyone off guard, and no one was ready for that. I think that was very clean, very dished, very well.
That was from the grad student, Taylor Jacobowski. As Mendoza rolls one in again. Jacobowski is a rare in-conference transfer. She played 4 years at Seton Hall, appeared in more than 100 matches for the Pirates, and stays in the Big East for her final year of eligibility at Villanova.
Well, it seems like she's came in just well. She's doing just well. She's running this offense. You can see the connection she has with her hitters. She has beautiful hands. I mean, she's running all over the court, delivering the sets. I think she is connecting really well. One thing that I really like and I just saw is she's going up to every player after the point's over, high-fiving them, telling them, all right, next point. We got this next ball. Or, hey, I'll deliver this next ball. So I think that's a great thing for a leader to have, and I think she fits right in.
Well, Erin Appelman has really built a dynasty in the Ivy League here in New Haven. Yale has won the last 2 Ivy League tournament championships, 5 of the last 6 titles, and 11 since 2008. There have only been 2 years with an Ivy League tournament. Previously, it was just the regular season champion that got the auto bid. Yale's hosted and won both of them, and these numbers are just insane. Top 2 in the league, 18 of the last 19 seasons, and 227 wins in 279 regular season conference matches since Erin Appelman took over 21 years ago.
I mean, it also comes from Erin Appelman herself. I think she has illustrated the legacy, the growth, and how she wants this program to be, how she wants this program to compete, what she wants this program to achieve. I think she has taken this program to the next level. And yes, the record is impressive. Yes, the wins are impressive. Yes, the championships, all of this and that. But you got to give credit to Appleman. She has grown this program. And then you got to give it to the girls because they have upheld everything that she has taught them and she has ingrained in them. And I think it's just very impressive overall to continue to have this success over the years. It's very easy for a team to take a winning season and use it as confidence and then not do well next season. You know, you have to continue to work. You have to continue, like, everyone is out there to beat you. Everyone is going to play their hardest to beat you. And so it's very impressive to see what Erin Appleman has grown in this program.
Last year, Yale actually took the first set from Penn State in their first round match in the NCAA tournament and had a lead in the third set, ended up losing in 4 sets. It was a really competitive effort against the Nittany Lions, who Yale will coincidentally play next weekend. Kat Young against Villanova back within 3. And look, it's very early here in 2024. You never know what's going to happen. But the last 2 years, right, Yale has gone a combined, if you include the Ivy League tournaments, 31-1 in the Ivy League. So for them, these non-conference matches are so important because, to being frank about the way the league's been the last couple of years, they're not really getting tested in most of, if not all of their conference matches. So testing yourself in these matches goes a long way when you think about what might happen in postseason.
And that is why you see them playing the top teams that they are playing. That is why they are playing Penn State next weekend. This is an opportunity for them to play tough teams, to play higher level competition, to show that they can compete in season, in conference play. Everyone there is going to play the best game that they can to beat them. Maybe for Yale, it's a little easier than preseason. So the preseason is a way for them to actually be challenged, for them to be the underdogs for once, to go out and compete like they have nothing on their back, that they can just go out and play the game that they want to.
Second timeout taken by Villanova acting head coach Joe Portland, with his team trailing 21-16 in the first set. Yale's hitting 324 so far. Villanova just 133. Carly Deal already has 10 assists. Coming into the match, she had 116 in 3 matches this year. 47 against College of Charleston, 35 against USC Upstate, and 34 against Pacific. Yale was in Charleston last weekend, dropped 5 setters against Pacific and C of C before sweeping USC Upstate and now returning home for the first time this season. Lee Amphitheater, a place where they've won 22 matches in a row. As Madison told you earlier, that's 2 consecutive undefeated seasons at home. The last time Yale lost here was in November, early November of 2021 at the hands of the Princeton Tigers. But, you know, Villanova has already played one of the top teams in the Ivy League this year in Princeton, and they dominated them. Beat them in 3 sets. Wasn't the biggest challenge in the world, honestly. Abby Harrell had a huge day with 22 kills, hit 576. So they have confidence against an Ivy League opponent.
I think right now what Yale is doing that is very impressive to me is both middles are hitting over 500. You have Barr hitting 1,000 because she's 3 for 3. And then you have Mendoza, who's hitting 500. And then you also have Abraham hitting a 667. I think right now that is impressive. In the first game, we did not see the middles being rung that much, and now we see Yale using their offense to run their middles in defense, in serve receive, and obviously we can see that it is working with both of the percentages coming from Abraham and Barr.
It's a 13-6 Yale run And they're 2 points from the set. Deal for Barr. Just missed. So Villanova down by 6 out of timeouts here in the first set. Now, last year, Yale actually dropped the first set of the Yale Invitational against Sacred Heart and then didn't drop another set the rest of the weekend. Here they are 2 points away, though, from taking the opening set of the weekend. Good now, another dig. Kellen into the block. So Villanova with 3 blocks here in the opening set came in averaging 1.9 per set through 6 matches this year.
Right now, it doesn't even feel like Villanova's down. You know, I feel like they have all the energy in the world. I mean, excuse that unforced error, but right now, to me, it seems like they're still competing at a high level. It doesn't matter that it's game point or it's set point Yale right now. To me, they have this momentum and they're fighting to get a side out and continue competing.
Betsy good now with the block, and Yale takes the first set 25-18. But I think we might get a challenge here. It looks like Villanova has decided no challenge, so the first set does belong to Yale. So a tidy first set for Yale, 25-18 over Villanova. Justin Glancy, Madison Mori, and our entire outstanding crew. Glad you're with us here in New Haven. As you always do when you have a great team, you lose great players, and Yale has done that the last couple of years, but the pipeline is just a cycle, and these are the All-Ivy League selections among returners for Yale. So Carly Deal 3 times, Mila Jaric twice, Gigi Bard twice, and Betsy Goodnow last year as a first year. So great experience and great skill on this roster once again for Erin Appleman.
Great experience comes with a lot of fun on the court, a lot of wins, a lot of trust, a lot of growth as a team. I think that these 3 players that you mentioned, and now Goodnow going into after being a freshman, I mean, she has grown so much and she has started to take over and to be a leader on this team. And I think you can see it from the way they connect with one another on the court to when the game is going well, when the game is not going well. These girls know how to lean on one another. They know how to make a change. They know how to bring it. And obviously you can see it with all that experience and those decorative honors that you mentioned.
What did you think of the first set? I thought what stood out the most to me was that it felt like Yale was digging everything, and they ended up with 18 digs in that first set.
I mean, Yale was extremely scrappy. They were all over the court. They were getting touches. They were hovering really well. I think that's honestly one of the hardest parts of the game is hovering off the block. It's, you know, when it's deep, when it's short, when it's right under, that is one of the most difficult parts of the game. And on Yale's side, we see them flying everywhere. I mean, there were deep blocks, there were short blocks, they were everywhere. They were scrappy. I think they have a lot of grit right now, and that's what you're seeing on this court.
Mendoza with the opening kill of set 2. And an answer from Riley Homer for Villanova. Homer, the grad student from Grand Rapids, Michigan. This is her 95th career match at Villanova. Kat Young on serve. Good now. Comes back to the Yale side. Mendoza right into the block.
I think right now what we're seeing Villanova's motivation and determination to not go away, to not let Yale take a early lead in this set. Right now, they're trying to do it themselves. And yes, it's only 2-1, but you can see it by the way they're playing, by the way they're scrappy on the floor. They're running their offense quick. I mean, they are just eager and ready to compete and not let Yale get ahead like they did in set 1.
So Goodnow and Abraham combine on the block, and it's 2-2. That first set was competitive for a while, and then Yale went on a late run to make it a 25-18 final. That rolls along the tape, and the point goes to Villanova. Campbell McKinnon has her second kill of the night. For Yale, they have been led by 5 kills from Mendoza and 4 from Goodnow. Nobody has more than 2 yet for the Wildcats. Deal sets up Abraham. It was a little bit off target. Free ball over, clips the tape. Deal with the back set for Abraham, and a pretty drop shot.
Such a tricky offense when your setter is front row. On that ball, I thought Deal was going to dump it. I mean, it was a perfect pass. She's up there, she's jumping. You can see that they have a blocker staying with Deal because she already has so many kills and she's an aggressive setter. She's up there, she's ready to dump. She's ready to take matters into her own hands, and it's so tricky when she is up there and she is, running that offense because you think it could be coming from her, but it's not. And then she sets that middle and you've only got one blocker. So I think it's really smart the way Yale and the way Deal is running that offense from up there and how she's using her height to an advantage and making it even more difficult for the blockers 3.
Kellen misses wide, trying to go cross court. So it's 4-4. Overall, Yale has had 21 consecutive seasons with a winning record. Last 2 years, it combined 44-7 and 27-1 in Ivy League regular season games. Deal for Abraham again. I mean, there's not much more aesthetically pleasing in volleyball than a kill from a middle like that.
I mean, Abraham set herself up. She had a perfect pass, and then she was up and she was ready. And, it was funny because they tried to disrupt this offense with a short serve, but Abraham was like, nope, that's my ball. I'm going up. I'm going to put it down. And just like I mentioned earlier, she's aiming those deep corner shots. She's not trying to pummel it right at the 10-foot line. She's hitting those deep corner shots where there are no defenders.
Kellen tools the block. Yale back up by a point. Kellen only appeared in 3 sets last weekend. Junior right side hitter from Gulf Breeze, Florida, actually got the start tonight for the first time in her career.
Right now, she's doing a great job attacking, carrying this offense. I think she's doing a great job making herself available, making herself ready, communicating with Yale, making herself ready for this ball, and showing that she's going to put this ball down for her team.
Yale, by the way, generally a very good serving team. They were 5th in the country last year in service aces per set. Deal sets up Goodnow. What a tough swing for a lefty. Almost worked out, though. And it's off the antenna from Taylor Lewis, so point Yale. This has felt like a really high-quality match so far, Madison. One thing that might leave you hoping for more is the serving from these two teams. We have a combined 9 service errors and no aces yet.
I think right now we're seeing just a ton of aggression in serving, which are leading to unforced errors. I think the girls are going back there. Yale, to me, seems like they are trying to put as much power as they can behind their serve, and they're trying to contact it at a fast rate to make that ball difficult to serve, but with putting more power becomes more errors. And so it's all about finding that balance between how much power can you put on this ball, but keep it in and keep it difficult at the same time. I think that's what we're seeing. We're seeing a lot of aggression, but it's leading to a lot more unforced errors overall, which is, yes, we want to see cleaned up because these teams are playing at a high level, but there are a good amount of errors that are giving the other team unnecessary points, making the game end the way it is.
We were talking in the first match today about creativity offensively. What have you made of kind of the different styles of shot that Isabella Mendoza has been able to use in this match?
I mean, she is all over the place. I mean, talk about that shot right there. Super sharp, super on the corner. It's very impressive. And it's every single time she's going up and she's swinging, it's a different shot. It's not a same deep cross here, deep cross there. No, it's a sharp cross here. Okay, I'm going to aim for that deep corner. Okay, I'm going to try and tool it off the hands. I think she sees the block really well, and she's doing a great job of finding a range of shots and getting a score for the outside edges.
Not sure how Goodnow did that, but she did.
I think she does a lot of things that we are impressed by, only as a sophomore.
She will serve. And that's what happens, right? I mean, you look at these seniors like Barr and Deal, and then you say, wait, they have these sophomores in Goodnow and Abraham and Aria Jew.
Exactly. It's impressive. And, you know, these seniors are allowing these sophomores to excel on this court. They are giving them the power. They are giving them the confidence that they need because they have had this experience.
Worth noting, by the way, that Mila Jaric, who has not played yet this year and is not dressed tonight for Yale, is a two-time All-Ivy League pick. So you're missing one of your all-conference players in this match, and still it seems like the talent is boundless on the floor. Villanova right in this set, though. It's 10-9 Wildcats up a point, and McKinnon serving. She's had such a great rookie season so far. Mendoza, cross court, finds the opening.
One thing to highlight about McKinnon is her connection she has with Nelson. I mean, both freshmen, they're out there, they're connected, they're running an offense. Imagine putting both of them out there, brand new to the collegiate level, and they're competing and executing at a level like this. I mean, it is quite impressive to watch firsthand, and being able to see the way they connect with one another, the way they communicate with one another. It's very impressive.
Right now, Joe Portland, the acting head coach for Villanova, is talking with Zach Dorsch, the down ref, the up ref Tim Veloso in this match. He was thinking about challenging there, but elected not to. That was a point for Villanova, and it's 11-11. 7 assists now for Nelson, giving her 120 on her freshman season. Jacobowski serving. Then the grad transfer from Seton Hall, originally from Lake in the Hills, Illinois. Kellen. And the block again for Villanova. That is 6 already in the match for the Wildcats.
It's impressive to have 6 blocks in 2 sets. I mean, I think Villanova right now is finding an answer to Yale's hitting percentage in that first set. I think they're trying to find everything they can to compete with them. Both competable, and being able to take this set and take this lead from them. Right now, they are finding everything within their blocking, their attacking, their passing, their serving. They're finding ways to throw Yale off its tracks, and I think it's working right now. They're taking a little bit of a lead, and I think they're going to continue to push.
Overpass, and Villanova on a bit of a run, leads by 3. Good service run here for Jacobowski. And Erin Appleman's going to take a timeout. 4-0 run for the Wildcats.
She is the sports all-time leader in the Ivy League titles, so it's pretty impressive what she's doing with this program. And, you know, I'm hoping that timeout allowed her team to take a second and regroup, go back out there and compete.
What a dig there from Bella Chan. Another chance for Villanova, though. Go to the outside, tip shot from Abby Harrell. I'm not sure she executed that quite how she wanted to, but it works.
That's been working all night for Villanova. It's one of the hardest tips to pick up in the game. Right over the block, you can either pull up your right back, your setter position to stay there and pick up that tip, shift your middle back over and get the line shot, or you can have your outside come in, have your outside commit to picking up the tip, but then you don't have an outside hitter. It's a very difficult ball to pick up, but whoever wants it, they just have to commit to it. And I think right now that's what Villanova is finding success in, is no one's committing to that tip. And right now, Villanova needs to find, or Yale needs to find an answer to that.
6-0 run here for Villanova. And a tremendous serving stretch for Taylor Jacobowski. Her mom was a college volleyball player, Michelle, at the University of New Orleans and then Northeastern Illinois. And it's really the whole family that played sports in college. Her dad played baseball at Eastern Illinois, sister soccer at Creighton, brother baseball at Valparaiso, and she obviously is in her 5th season as a collegiate volleyball athlete. 4 of them at Seton Hall, 1 at Villanova. See if Yale can stop the run. Easy dig for Taylor Lewis. Harrell puts it down. A couple times they found that opening in the middle of the Yale defense, and Aaron Appleman's going to take another timeout as Villanova is threatening to run away with the second set.
Right now, Villanova is finding what works. I think right now they have taken the first set, learned what didn't work for them, found a way to work through it, and right now they are taking away and they are doing what they can, finding the way Yale struggles and putting it out there and competing at a very high level.
Let's take a look at the preseason poll in the Big East. This is the top 8. Creighton, nearly the unanimous favorite. Villanova 8th in the preseason poll after finishing in a tie for 6th a year ago and dropping the quarterfinal match in the Big East tournament to the 3rd-seeded St. John's Red Storm. I have to get your take on this, Madison. And I know you were a libero, so you were wearing a different jersey than everyone else. But what's your take on the conventional long sleeve versus the tank top and shooting sleeves look that Villanova sports?
So I love both. I love the long sleeves. I love it with the elbow pads under, but I also love the short sleeves. I feel free. I like both. The only thing that I really don't like is the short sleeve jersey.
Okay.
I don't know why. That doesn't fit the game for me.
I thought you were going to give me a total non-answer there, but
Really?
I'm glad you committed to at least not liking something. Long sleeves, no sleeves, but no short sleeves.
No short sleeves. I like the long sleeves. You just get obviously more sweaty, but I also think that the tank top is a cool new look.
Yeah. UConn wears tank tops, I know, so a couple Big East schools go with it. Rotation issue there with Villanova, I believe.
Very rare to see that called in a college game. Obviously, you see right now that what they are talking about is Villanova was called out of rotation. I'm unsure who, but in volleyball, you have to be behind a certain person, but you have to be in front of another person. And it's based off of who is next to you in the rotation. And so someone on Villanova's roster in serve receive was out of rotation and maybe in front of someone they shouldn't have been. And it results in an immediate point for the other team, which is obviously frustrating at that time and is now giving Yale the momentum to catch up and to make this set closer.
3-0 run ends courtesy of Taylor Lewis, the freshman out of Indianapolis. Played at Cathedral High School there. Her dad was a college volleyball player at Ball State. 11th ranked recruit in the state of Indiana by Prep Dig. Abby Harrell serving, the reigning Big East freshman of the year. Schultz steps into it. Flipped to Tate. Allowed it to stay up for Lola Buck-Taylor, and it's put away, and Villanova is 6 points away from evening up this match.
I think Harrell is doing a great job right now being an all-around player. I think she's bringing a ton of energy. She's bringing a ton of power behind her swing. She really is carrying Villanova in the second set and allowing them to have a chance to take a set off of Yale. And I think she's doing a great job by leading this team and taking the set and leading her team to take the set.
Villanova hit 057 in the first set. They are hitting 364 in this set. Lewis, miss long. So thanks to a couple of free points, 19-16 the score. Yale's back in it. A service error and that rotation issue. And it looks like we're going to get a challenge here for Villanova to see if that ball was
in
tipped or not.
Out.
Yeah. In or out. Probably to see if there was any touch at the net as well. So you'll get to see exactly what the officials are looking at. And this is the difference between 20-15 Villanova or 19-16. Clearly out. So it's whether or not there's a tip here. Based on the trajectory of the ball, it's hard to imagine it wasn't tipped, but I'm not sure I'm seeing a tip.
To me, it looks like the left top of the ring finger or pinky tipped it a tad. But it would have to be very little. I think it's very difficult to see in this picture.
Again, the ball's clearly out, so it's just one thing they're looking at.
They want to see if the ball is changing any sort of direction as it comes off the blocker's hands. If it does, then you know that there was a touch on that ball. But if we are not seeing any movement from when the ball was hit to after it passes blocker's hands, there was no touch on it. And so that's what the officials are looking at right now. It's usually they will look for if a finger moves back or if it moves at all. But right now that's very difficult to see in this picture. So I would suggest that they're looking at the trajectory of the ball.
Call's going to stand. And just like we saw with the one video review in the first match today, I would guess that was a case where there was just not enough to change the call. So not confirmed, but stands would be the verbiage used. And now Yale's back within 3, and Carly Deal is serving perhaps their best back there. And despite trailing most of this set, Yale is a little run away from being right back in it. But a service error gives Villanova point number 20. Now Elizabeth Fezco serving. Senior from the state of Pennsylvania gives the point right back. 12 combined service errors, 6 each.
At a time like this, when the score is this close, you got to get that ball in. You got to be able to put a tough serve in that you can rely on, that you are confident in, to put it in the court and cause chaos. But right now what we're seeing is 3 back to back to back service errors. And that's not what you do at this close of a game. It changes momentum. It changes the game very quickly. And it allows the other team for a chance to get on a big momentum run. And right now that's what we're seeing is back and forth, back and forth. So who's going to get on this run and take that set?
Good now, that hit the antenna. I mean, it's one thing to have service errors, obviously, if you're getting the payoff of some aces or getting a team out of system with it.
Right.
But it doesn't seem like that's really happening.
Right now, we don't have any aces. And I think the passing has been good on both sides. So I think right now we just need to clean up, go behind that service line, make sure they're doing their routine, clean up what they're doing, clean up their contact, and find a way to get that ball in without hitting it as hard as they can.
That serve from Jew clipped the tape. Sets up this Yale chance. It's good now again. Tried the tip shot. And Betsy Goodnow makes this 22-19. Now, just to kind of tie the bow on it, as much as it's not aesthetically pleasing, let's say, the serving, it's even the number of service errors, so it hasn't necessarily actually affected anything.
Right.
As both teams are struggling with it.
Yep. I think both teams right now are just trying to put in the toughest ball they can to get the other team out of system, because right now both teams are passing well. There's not many errors. There's not a ton of out of system. And so I think that both teams are going back there and trying to put in a tougher serve to get the team out of system. But I think right now what they're missing is the placement. I think you can't hit it hard and hit it right at a passer. You got to be able to place it in the seams. You got to be able to drop it short. You got to be able to drive it deep. You got to be able to catch that passer off guard and be able to find that opening and find that seam, but drive that ball in it.
Set point here for Villanova. And it's Campbell McKinnon serving for the set. Overpass from Goodnow. The chance for the Wildcats. It's Harrell. Yale's got an opportunity. Mendoza kind of fading away there. Harrell again had to stop her momentum. Abraham in the middle. Near side this time. And that didn't make it over the net from Homer.
McKinnon was in that back row, defense and out of system setting. I mean, that was pretty impressive for a freshman back there. She was right in the seam, had a great dig, and then had a great out of system set to that right side. And it was just great work back there by a middle.
Harrell. And Villanova takes the second set. 25-21. And we are even heading to the third set in New Haven. Villanova hits 250 as a team. And
aces. Both teams almost have 2 service aces per set. And right now in this game, we haven't had any. And we've had 1. And I think it's very interesting to see where are these errors coming from? Are there too much power? You know, like I mentioned earlier, they're not placing the ball in the seams. They're serving with power right at passers. And to have a good serving game, you got to be able to place the ball. You got to be able to find the open spots, face that player, go ahead and drive it. I think that's one stat that stands out to me. I think another stat that stood out to me was the opponent's hitting percentage. I think both of them were pretty high for both teams. And so I think that means each team has to step up a little bit on defense. They got to be scrappier. They got to be able to get more touches on the block. They got to be able to get digs and make transitions out of them. And I think that is what we are seeing in this game. I think both teams are playing extremely scrappy, have a lot of grit on the court, and it'll be really interesting to see what comes into this third set. How many serves are we doing? And are we making as many errors? And are we controlling our contacts and everything? So I think this third set will be very telling.
Alyssa Nelson serves for Villanova. Deal goes to Goodnow. 1-0 Yale. Goodnow with 8 kills now to lead Yale. Mendoza with 7 and Abraham with 6 right behind her. But for Villanova, it is Harrell leading all players with 9 kills so far. Aria Ju serving. And in the middle, it's the freshman McKinnon. Mendoza. Free ball over. Deal for Larice Abraham. 22 assists for Carly Deal. She's been over 20 in all 4 matches this year. In fact, she's been over 30 in each of the first 3.
I mean, she is just an impressive player. What you see from her is what you're seeing in real life. It's beautiful. She's working hard. She's dishing beautiful sets, and she's running that offense all over. She's challenging herself to get to the ball. She's not taking a platform. She's getting there. She's getting squared. She's getting her feet under it. She's setting, delivering a beautiful set to her hitters. That is why she has such a great connection. This is why her hitters are producing the way they are, because they are getting great balls every time.
Goodnow again. And Betsy Goodnow is now 1 kill and 1 assist, or 1 dig, I should say, away from a double-double already. She has 9 of each.
Goodnow is just leaving this team. I mean, she is from all over, back row to front row. It's beautiful.
So Princeton gets the other 2 first place votes. And as we talked about earlier, Villanova swept Princeton last weekend. So Villanova already successful against the team that was picked to finish second in the Ivy League, and tonight competing against the team that was picked to finish first. Early timeout here in the third set from Joe Portland. Obviously it hasn't started well, but you don't see a lot of timeouts 4 points in.
Right. I was also very shocked. Usually you'll see timeouts later in the set, and I think that maybe Joe is using it as a way to disrupt the other team and disrupt this run that they're going on and try to find an answer to the serve into a side out. And he honestly did just that as they just scored that point. So seems like it worked.
Abraham with another kill. Just to kind of finish what we were talking about prior to the break about Carly Deal. Generally, Conference Player of the Year goes to a hitter just because kill stats are what sort of stands out. It's not like it never goes to a setter, but I think it does show how good a setter is to win that award.
I mean, she almost is a hitter. I mean, she's up there. She is taking charge of that second contact, taking teams off their feet and, you know, not expecting that the ball is going to come over. And she's finding ways to score as a setter in many different ways. I mean, it's not just an easy dump over. She's finding corners. She's finding deep corners, short corners. She's finding ways to throw that ball down. I think she's taking a lot of power, and it's impressive because, you know, like you said, normally these awards go to hitters, but she is illustrating why this award is going to her. She's getting there. She's working for the ball. She's delivering the best ball. And obviously you can see it in the team's hitting percentage. You can see it the way they're finishing first every year. You can see it in every game she plays.
7-2 lead. Mendoza serving for Yale. Near side Harrell. That clipped the tape, and that allowed it to get through the block. And Harrell becomes the first player in this match to reach double-digit kills. That is her 10th, matching her jersey number. 75 kills in 22 sets entering the night for Abby Harrell this season. Jacobowski serving. Remember, she was serving when Villanova went on that huge run to win the second set.
I think she has done such a great job being a leader for this court as a transfer. I mean, she came in, she took over. I think she's doing a great job running this offense and connecting with her hitters. I also think Carol is as well. I mean, she's out there, like you said, first hitter to reach double digits tonight. She's carrying a big load for this Villanova team right now. And I think she has for a while, and I think she's doing a great job of handling all aspects of her game and being able to be that player for Villanova and be that hitter that Villanova needs.
Dump over on 2, and Chan just could not get a hand under it. So Villanova gets a point there, and it's 8-4. Reese Abraham hitting .571 in this match. Good now, .412. Mendoza, .357. Those are the three best hitting percentages for any hitter in this match. Cross court, Ju. A kill for Kat Young. Remember, tomorrow, 2 more matches here at the Yale Invitational. Yale will play Fairfield. Villanova will play Colgate in the reverse order of how I just listed them. And then Sunday, Villanova will play Fairfield at Fairfield. And Yale will play Colgate here. Carly Deal able to pop that one over. And a block for Carly Deal.
Just like we mentioned, she can do it all. I mean, that is exactly why she is getting the mention and the awards and everything she's getting. She's out there. She's running this offense. She's blocking, serving at a high level. She's doing a great job being there for her team.
By the way, for Yale, Cam Bolane, the first year from California in the match for the first time. Villanova staying attached here. Elizabeth Fezco will serve. Luzino with that last kill. Deal sets it up for good now. It was a little bit out of rhythm for Betsy. She misses wide.
It's always difficult to see a lefty on the outside. You know, they're hitting at such an odd angle, and I think it's very difficult for Goodnow to be able to get the best swing that she can on that ball from that angle. But she's done it all night. I mean, she's done everything all night. You can see it with her stats. She's doing a great job of making herself available, hitting a 3-3-3 and getting to the ball, finding different shots. Even when the set is not perfect, she's doing a great job of handling every ball that's given to her.
What a play by Aria June. Another chance, though, for Villanova, and that is long. And Taylor Lewis, who is asking for a tip, won't be obliged by either referee.
Yale right now is playing that scrappy defense. You can see Aria getting that ball over with one hand. Bunch of rush touches, but being able to just continue with the play no matter how fast the ball is going. I think they're doing a great job staying disciplined, attacking the ball, being aggressive to where the ball is, and trying to do the best they can to get over that third cross line.
So 10-9 now. Nelson to serve. Remember, Villanova took an early timeout in this set when trailing 4-0.
I think that early timeout worked for them.
Yep. Still, the serving. Bit of an issue tonight on both sides. The teams have combined for 1 ace and 18 serving errors. Aria Ju to the middle. McKinnon once again. Campbell McKinnon in Villanova's last match against Old Dominion, 17 kills, 4 errors, and hit 500.
I mean, she is also extremely impressive tonight. She is making herself an option. You can see it no matter how far the ball is off the net, how far the ball is off the court. She's up and she's getting back and transitioning, and she is making sure that she is an option for Nelson. She wants to be set. She wants that ball. She wants to put it down, and she's producing at a very high level right now, being able to hitting a 545. I mean, she's doing an amazing job being able to work that offense and continue to take this now lead for Villanova.
12 kills now for Harrell. Pat Young will serve. And that's too long, so it's 12-12. Service error number 9 of the match against Villanova. Yale, the reigning Ivy League champions 2 years running. Villanova coming off its first winning season in 5 years. 2 years ago, Yale and Nova played a 5-set thriller. Tonight could seem destined to be the same. McKinnon, Jew with another dig. Good now, walks into it, went down the line and missed wide.
I think right now what we're seeing is a bunch of errors. I mean, we have a ton from the service line. We have some from attacking. And right now it just needs to be cleaned up a bit. I mean, both teams are playing at very high levels. The only thing holding them back and keeping the score so close is they're both making errors. That's it. And they're just going back to one another. And they're playing at a high level and they're able to recover from these errors quickly. But it needs to be cleaned up a bit just to even out this score and, have one team take the lead and one team not. I think that's exactly what we're seeing right now.
Yale now with 3 players with exactly 9 kills. Good now, Mendoza and Abraham. Still Harrell leading the way with 12 for Villanova. McKinnon has 6. Villanova with 2 players both in double digits for assists. Jacobowski with 12 and Nelson contributing 11. On the Yale side, Deal with 26 assists so far. Jacobowski serving. Overpass. Jew able to come up with a dig. Lane right into the arms of Young. And a point for Villanova. It's Ozzy Azuno once again. So from 4-0 down, Villanova is the first to 15. Lane cross court, that missed. And Villanova's won the last 3 points. Timeout, Aaron Appleman.
Villanova is just putting the pressure right now on Yale in every aspect of the game. Tough serving, playing good defense, running their offense, high digs, being able to get transitions. They are doing a great job of taking over and taking this lead over Yale.
And what makes it even more impressive what Villanova's doing is this. 22 consecutive wins on this floor for Yale. That includes regular season and postseason. Yale has hosted the last 2 Ivy League tournaments, and nobody has beaten Yale on this floor since November of 2021 when Princeton came here and got a victory. So it's very hard to beat Yale in general, hard to beat them here. And Villanova has a 3-point lead in the third set of a match that's tied 1-1. So really impressive stuff. By the way, for a team that is without its head coach tonight.
Exactly. I think Villanova right now is just coming in. They're the underdogs. They've got nothing to lose. They are going out there with that mindset. Yale right now has their backs against the wall. I mean, everyone that steps foot in this gym is coming to try and beat them and to stop this record. And so right now, I think that's exactly what Villanova is doing. They're doing their best to put the pressure on Yale. But I also think that Yale is handling this pressure really well. I think that they are competing at a very high level. And right now, it's all about cleaning up those little errors here and there on both sides of the court.
And that's an ace. Villanova, Madison, went on a big run in the second set, and now they're on a big run in the third set. And what's the commonality? It's 12 is serving for them.
I mean, she has got a clean serve. When that ball is leaving her hand, there is no movement on the ball, and that is one of the most difficult serves to pass is a float serve. She's hitting it right along the corner on that line, and she's doing a great job of making that ball drop right on that line, which is struggling the Yale passers.
Villanova did not have an ace all night until about 17 seconds ago, and now they have two. Taylor Jacobowski, the grad student, transferred from Seton Hall, originally from Lake in the Hills, Illinois. Deal sets it up. It's Schultz. Villanova digging everything they can right now. Deal for Abraham. Tip shot didn't work. Harrell. 19-13 for Villanova.
I mean, Buck Taylor had some.
So overall, 2-1.
Yeah, right now Villanova has picked up their hitting percentage to a 194, and they're just trailing Yale's 196. I think they're doing a great job being available at the net. I think they're doing a great job running a different offense that Yale hasn't seen yet. And Yale can answer with their own beautiful offense. I mean, what a kill from Abraham. She is just having a spectacular night. She is carrying this team right now, hitting a 529. She's producing at a very high level, and Deal knows that. That's why she's given her the ball.
Tough serve to handle there from Sherlock. Lewis into the block of Carly Deal. Sure, it feels good to have her on your team.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And she doesn't need any help. She can do it all on her own. Beautiful work.
Sherlock to serve again, the junior out of Fort Worth. Villanova trying to stop a mini Yale run. Schultz tries to go down the line, but Young was there. Tip shot in the middle. Deal there for it. Schultz just pops it over. Another middle attack, and there was a massive opening there for Arizona.
I mean, on that side, you could see that that ball was going to go to Hamill. I mean, they both thought it was going back there. They both thought she was going to be set. But no, it was a big opening right down the middle. And it was just a beautiful execution. Beautiful notice by the setter as she chose that option. She looked at that block. She saw no one was there, and she took advantage of it. And I think that was a great play, very thought through. I think she did a great job executing it.
Kara Schultz was able to tool the block there. Schultz's sister Renee played 4 years here at Yale. Graduated 2 seasons ago. A lot of rings in that family. Deal serving. Well handled by Young. Yale trying to get back within 3 in the set, and Betsy Goodnow does get Yale within 3.
I think if you need someone to get you on a run, it's Deal right here. Her serve it's there, it's difficult, it's fast, it's coming at you. I think if you need anyone to get you on a run right now, it's Deal.
Goodnow now with a double-double, 10 kills, 11 digs. That's into the net. It was touched by Yale, so Villanova can reset though. Deal goes to Betsy Goodnow again. Schultz, Jakubowski, great effort, but couldn't keep it up.
Yale is not giving up, as you can tell. They do not want this set to end. They want to take this set from Villanova. And I think right now they are doing a great job of putting their ball and their body to the floor to get this set.
Villanova takes a timeout. Joe Portland was asking the official, how many do I have left? The answer was 1. He thought about it for a minute and said, I'll use it. 20-18 in the third set. And, you know, not breaking any news, but in a best of 5, when it's 1-1, third set often means everything.
Exactly. I mean, it illustrates, just like we saw in the set before, it took all the momentum. It gave all the momentum to Colgate as they took that third set, took that second, took that third, and took the fourth. I mean, it gave them all the momentum going into the fourth, and they won by a landslide in the fourth. And so right now, this is a big set. This is a big momentum change for the two, and it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top and if they keep that momentum going into that next set.
Remember, we'll be here all weekend. 2 more matches tomorrow, 1 on Sunday. And we'll bring it all to you right here on ESPN Plus from Lee Amphitheater. Carly Deal, the reigning Ivy League Player of the Year, trying to help Yale mount a comeback in this third set, which Villanova has led for quite a while after initially falling behind 4-0. When you peer at the stat sheet, so you see the schedule tomorrow, Yale, Villanova. Actually, it'll be Yale and Fairfield tomorrow, and then Colgate, Villanova. But you had mentioned just mere moments ago, Madison, that the hitting percentages were nearly identical for the match. Yale's jumped its back up to 227, Villanova at 178.
Yeah, I think Yale is putting a lot of trust into the middle blockers. They're giving a lot of trust to Abraham. They're giving a lot of trust to Barr as well. I think that those two are doing a great job. Right now, you also have Mendoza and Goodnow both hitting in the 300s. And so I think right now it's pretty consistent along the board, but they are putting a lot of trust into Abraham, which is obviously executing and illustrated very well.
Taylor Lewis gets the kill. Villanova has 2 points in a row out of the timeout. Now within 3 of taking the set. Both teams doing some towel work on the floor. Making sure things are dry.
Maybe you'd think with the new air conditioning that wouldn't be as sweaty and hot in here.
It is very cool in here. Not complaining, but it is cool. Fesco serving. Yale really needs a point here. Miscommunication leads to really a free point for Villanova.
Yeah, that can't happen at this late in the game, and I think that Deal was running one play and hitters were thinking the other.
This time, Gigi Barr got the swing. It was dug out by Jakubowski. And put away by McKinnon. Set point Villanova.
I mean, right now there is no stopping Villanova with their energy, their effort, the way they are laying out for these balls and for these hits. It is impressive, that diving one-arm play right there. I mean, it is just... And here they are taking that third set.
25-18. Villanova explodes late and takes set number 3. So after dropping the first, Villanova's won 2 in a row and now on the brink of snapping Yale's long home winning streak.
And I think what's really impressive about this is they don't even have their head coach tonight.
Yeah.
And they are just going out there with nothing to lose, nothing to hold them back from taking this game. And it's really impressive. I mean, I knew we were going to have a competitive weekend, but night one, I didn't think it was going to happen day one so quickly. And so I've just been very impressed with Villanova tonight and the way that they are playing, the way that they're playing defense, and just not letting any ball drop.
Well, if Villanova wins this match, Joe Portland might be asking for a raise or something.
As you should.
All right, so Kara Schultz serving for Yale to start the 4th set. McKinnon was blocked, comes back on the Villanova side. Second swing of the point, now it's a Yale chance. Gigi Barr. She was so active early, we haven't called her name much lately.
We haven't. I think it's been a ton of Abraham, but not as much Gigi at all. And I think it's very interesting that they need to keep her active in this set because she did so much for them in the first set. And I think with having both of them in the first set being as active as they were, both of them hitting over 500, they've got to bring that back. They've got to bring that back in this 4th set.
An ace there from Kara Schultz, who led the Ivy League in that category a year ago, or 2 seasons ago. McKinnon, wow. Jew with a big dig.
What a beautiful dig by Jew. I mean, she was just right there, got right under it. Did not let that ball go past her. That was extremely impressive.
And it looks like a carry against McKinnon, so a 3-0 start. And Aaron Appelman gave Aria Jew a high five after that dig. Well deserved. 6 now for Aria Jew.
I mean, this is how the last set started. Yale went up 4-0, so it's going to be interesting to see if Villanova uses another early timeout or what their game plan is for this set, because this is exactly how it went last set.
Betsy good now. Arrow able to keep the point going. Jew with another dig. Bella Mendoza puts it away. Another highlight reel point for Yale, and Aria Jew plays hero, 2 straight points.
I've been very impressed with Mendoza's range of shots. She's not giving it a lot of power. She's just giving it placement. And I find that very impressive because it doesn't matter how hard you hit that ball, but she's finding a way to get that ball down, to change the placement, to change the trajectory off the block, on the block, anywhere to get that ball down.
Aaron Appelman's going to ask for a review on that last point to see if it was in or out. Looked like the ball hit the net and then landed out. And the question is whether or not a Yale player touched it somewhere in the sequence. I'm surprised, though. I mean, if you're Joe Portland, you were down 4-0 in the last set. You took a timeout. It worked. You came back and won.
Exactly.
Why not do it again?
Exactly. That's what I was expecting. I was expecting another timeout at 4-0, but I guess not. I guess this challenge may be his timeout. That way he doesn't have to use it.
Ooh, is that in?
Looks like the very end of it clipped the line. And now with this challenge system, if the ball, any part of the ball hits the line, it's considered in. And so that's what the refs are looking at right now. If any part of this ball hit the line, no matter how much of it did, it's still considered in and would be a point for Villanova. From that angle, it looks like part of it clipped the line to me.
So this call is going to be reversed. I'm not exactly sure why Zach Drosch, our official, went and told everybody like it was a state secret instead of every other review where he kind of just said it. But good challenge by Aaron Huffman.
I thought the edge of that ball honestly clipped that line, but I guess they did not see it.
Let's watch it one more time. Oh, it's clearly out. No, I'm kidding. I can't tell. It's pretty close.
To me, it looks like the edge of it, just the edge of it clipped in.
Oh, Mendoza was in the net. She was so excited, had the free chance, and
it was such a beautiful, too excited there.
Yeah.
Beautiful swing. I mean, that was pretty much inside that 10-foot line, but hey, I mean, I still liked it. Still thought it was beautiful.
Good now into the net. So it is 6-2 with Yale ahead. Justin Clancy, former Virginia standout, Madison Morin, our entire outstanding crew. Happy you're with us for coverage of the 2024 Yale Invitation. Mendoza. Harrell leading all players with 13 kills tonight. Schultz from the back row. So an ace and a kill now for Kara Schultz in the fourth set.
That is also one thing we haven't seen much today at all. We saw it run just one time earlier in the game, but tonight too, we haven't seen a lot of back row attack. We've seen a little bit from Goodnow, but that's about it. And I find it very interesting that we're not seeing it as much in this game.
Perhaps a fortunate ace there for Aria Jew. And it becomes 7-2. Sophomore from Marietta, Georgia. And now an error. 7-3 now. You know, 3 aces in the match for Yale. Last year they got so many free points off of serving. They averaged 1.99%, fifth most in the country. So the fact that Villanova has kept the Yale serving game pretty quiet tonight is a big reason why they're up 2-1.
I think it's pretty impressive from Villanova. You know, you can come into a match knowing that another team was ranked very high nationally last year in aces. You can come in with a lot of doubts about your passing game. And a passing game, it's a mental game. It is obviously technique and this and that, but it is more of a mental game than people think. And so coming into that, it can put a lot of stress on passers, but it can also provide a challenge for them. And I think Villanova has done an amazing job being able to control the tough serves that are coming at them, that are allowing them to get the best that they can, get the best pass for their setter and be able to run that offense. I think that's what they are doing really well. And it could be frustrating to Yale because they are used to getting more aces. And I think right now, Villanova is controlling it really well.
Reese Abraham with another kill. 9-4. Yale on top. You think about some of the players Yale lost from last season. Miley Samara was a all Ivy League libero and the team captain. And obviously Audrey Leak, who just had a massive senior season for Yale. First team all Ivy League for a second year in a row. So you are replacing a pretty good deal to all conference players, even though you bring back a bunch. But, you know, Leak was somebody who you could kind of go to for a point when you really needed one. She had 4 matches last year with at least 20 kills. She was the National Player of the Week after a weekend where she had 47 combined kills in 2 matches. So that's not easy to replace, but it's still a feeling out process for Yale of, is it Abraham? Is it Goodnow? Is it somebody else that we go to when we really need a point in a big spot? But right now, everything's clicking for Yale early in the 4th set, leading 11-4, and Villanova takes a timeout. But that's the thing, Madison. Just because personnel is largely the same, it doesn't mean everyone's in the same role.
Right. I think right now what Yale is using this preseason is a way to find that who can be that person for this team. Is it, like you said, is it Goodnow? Is it Abraham? Who is going to go out there and put that ball down when it's needed? It's difficult because it could be Abraham, but she's only on the court for 3 rotations. It could be Barr. She's only on the court for 3 rotations. So right now they are leaning towards Goodnow. And I think that she's doing a great job managing every ball that's given to her in the front row, in the back row, being able to control and get that third contact over. But she still is young and she still is learning how to continue to grow as a hitter. And so I think that she's taking this leadership in this role in the best way she can, but she's also growing at the same time since she only is a sophomore.
You know, I have to say, surprising amount of run for the Black Eyed Peas in this gym today.
No, it's been on all day.
Somebody had a feeling tonight was going to be a good night.
Exactly.
So right now for Yale, Abraham and Goodnow each with 12 kills. 12 digs for Kara Schultz, by the way. 9 now for Aria June. And obviously Deal, her assist total racking up at 35. Goodnow keeps the point up.
I think Yale's defense has done a great job being a lot scrappier this set. I think that they have had amazing defense all game, but I think Aria has really had some big digs that have totally shifted the momentum in this set. I think she has led her team to be scrappy and to go for the ball and to want these big hits coming at you. She has not been afraid of anything. She has gotten under every single ball, and I think that has been giving her team a ton of momentum to see the effort she's putting in the back row, and they're putting it in the front row.
Big point there for Villanova. It's 12-5 now. It's interesting when you sort of assess the stat sheet at large. Yale has the advantage in kills, hitting percentage, assists, aces, blocks are tied. Yale's plus 14 in digs. So if you were just looking at the paper form of this match, you'd be a little surprised Villanova was ahead.
Yeah, you could be very surprised and you could look at it and, you know, be confused. But at the same time, any given day, 2 teams come in, they face one another. It doesn't matter what the stats are. It doesn't matter who's All-American, who's not, who won last year, who was the worst. It doesn't matter. It just all that matters is Who's going to bring their A game? Who's going to adjust quickly? Who's going to have the momentum that's needed? Who's going to make changes faster? Who's going to win that serve and pass game? It's all about that. It's all about that growth in that moment. It's not about the stats. It's not about the past. Yes, that can help you prepare, but that's not going to help you win a game.
Allie Sherlock serving. Yale trying to extend this match to a 5th set. Easy work there for Kat Young.
Right now, one thing that I like that Villanova is doing is that they're just not giving up. No matter what the score is right now, they are still, saying next ball, give me this ball. Let's turn it around. Let's make a chance. They still have a chance in this game. I think they're doing a great job of rebounding quickly from mistakes and rebounding quickly from points that are not going their way. I think they're doing a great job finding a way to turn it around quick and continue to stay in this game.
Good now. Villanova over on 2. Jacobowski, diving play by Chan. Deal dumped it over, handled again by Jacobowski. That's into the block. Yale looked like it might have been in the net. We play on though. Lauren Kellen. Really long point here.
Both teams being incredibly scrappy. And Barr just putting it away. Here we are saying her name again. We need to keep saying her name. She is doing a fantastic job getting off the net and transitioning at a high level, making herself available for this Yale offense.
Timeout taken here by Villanova, now trailing 15-6 in the 4th set. And it's interesting because, well, when do you start playing the calculus game of, look, like, not saying you're not trying to win every point, but if you're Villanova, when do you think to yourself, it's probably unlikely we win this set. Maybe we shouldn't expend all our energy when we know we have to play a 5th.
I think right now what's going through Villanova's head is they have a chance in this set if they go back there and they get on a run. They find a way to stop Yale's momentum. They can easily take this set. But if they're not willing to think that way, they got to find a way to come back and make some momentum. I think they got to give it still as much as they can in this set because they still have a chance. But they also have to find that chance to give themselves the momentum that they need to take into this 5th set if it goes to 5.
Well, the balance for Yale has been really impressive in this match. 3 players with at least 10 kills. Mendoza, Goodnow, Abraham. 3 players with at least 11 digs. Ju, Schultz, Goodnow. The balance doesn't come from the assist category. Carly Deal has 38 of those. Her season high is 47. But this is the second most she's had in 4 matches this year. For Villanova, 13 kills and 8 digs for Harrell. 17 assists now for Jacobowski. And Deal serves it into the net.
If you're Villanova, you want Nelson to get on a run right now.
Deal sets it up for Gigi Barr. Six kills tonight now for Gigi Barr, hitting percentage of .455 for the senior from Illinois. And Schultz is on serve now.
Villanova right now needs to find a way to stop Barr and Abraham in the middle. I think they're doing a great job carrying this offense right now. For Yale, I think all hitters are making themselves available and getting the kills that they need, just like Mendoza. But Barr and Abraham are working so hard to get off the net and be available in transition in the first ball. I think they're doing, Yale's offense is just doing an amazing job, all working extremely hard to get off the net and be ready for deal.
Good now. Beautiful tip shot. It's 18-7. For those who might be wondering, just from a interest perspective, Carly Deal's career high in assists came her sophomore year in a match against Dartmouth, and it was only a 4-set match. She had 57 assists.
Very impressive. It's a very high level setter right there, being able to have 57 assists in just a 4-set match.
Tara Garvey just came in for the first time for Villanova. Junior outside hitter out of Ancaster, Ontario, who does have multiple matches this year with 10 kills. Hadn't seen her yet tonight, but she gets one there. And now an ace. Kat Young having some success on that service line. Young, just a freshman, honorable mention All-American in high school last year. Played at Flower Mound High School in Texas. Good cross-court swing. And another kill for Garvey. So she has made her impact felt very quickly after coming in.
What you have to do when you're put into these matches, you just got to go out there with no regrets. Just go out there and put that ball down. Find a different shot. That shot right now is working for her. That sharp cross-court hit. Ju hasn't seen it yet. And so obviously right now it's working for her. And I think she's doing a great job continuing to get there and make sure that that shot is open for her to hit. And, you know, that's very difficult to do coming right off the bench and not being able to feel warm or any of that. You're just in and you got to perform. And I think she did a great job coming in, continuing to perform, and can't wait to see what she continues to do for sure. That deep corner. I mean, she is coming in with no regrets at all. She just hit that deep corner shot. Very difficult shot to hit, especially as a righty on the right side. I mean, that was very impressive. It was a little off time, but she found an open corner. She used it and it worked.
Well, I don't know if it's going to be enough at this stage of the fourth set, but Villanova is starting to build some momentum, which could prove pivotal if we end up in a fifth. And Erin Appelman is sensing that, so she takes a timeout. 19-12, Yale with the lead in the fourth, trying to send this match the distance. Yale ahead 19-12, trying to send this match to a fifth set. Erin Appelman just took a timeout to try and stop a mini run here for Villanova. Out of the break, it's good now. Tip shot right into the block of Abby Harrell. That was more of a dunk shot than anything else.
Yeah, she was there. She was ready for that shot. I think she read it right off of Goodnow's hand as it left. And I think right now, Villanova is using everything they can, no matter if they can come back this set. They're using everything they can to find the momentum to carry them into a fifth set. That fifth set's only going to 15. Very quick. Happens like that. So they are trying to find any sort of momentum they can hold on to and bring with them into a fifth set.
Carly Deal sets up Mendoza. Dig for Fesco. Harrell into the block. Abraham pops it up. Schultz from the back row. Harrell trying to pick a corner there, but misses. And Yale needs just 4 more points to send this to a fifth set.
Villanova's defense right now is truly what stands out to me. I mean, Vesca is diving back row. I mean, these outside hits, she's extending her body out to just get a great touch on these balls. And not only a great touch, a great dig. And it's going back and forth. And they are just putting everything they can into these last couple points to get that momentum and to get their team to compete in this fifth set.
Well, Yale only had 1 ace through the first 3 sets, 3 so far in the fourth set, as Betsy Goodnow gets one there. Sophomore from Kansas once again. Bit of a miss hit, and that's the second time that Garvey has more or less totally mishit a kill.
I think Yale thought that that tip was out or maybe clipped the antenna, but it looks like it did not. But yeah, it was a little off timing, but you know, she made it work and it worked out.
Wonder if she has earned herself some time in the fifth set. 4 swings, 4 kills for her. Goodnow. 16 kills for Betsy Goodnow to go with 12 digs.
Yale has completely taken over the hitting percentage category. They have went from ending that last set in the low 200s to now hitting a 256 in this set. And I think it is very impressive what they are doing right now and how they are producing in this offense. I think Betsy Goodnow is a big component to that. She is becoming that player they can rely on to put balls down when needed. From the back row, from the front row, I am very impressed with her right now.
She has now tied her career high of 17 kills. Did it once last year against Loyola Chicago, once this year against Pacific. Now she's done it tonight, and Yale is on the precipice of forcing a fifth. Harrell misses long, and we will go the distance tonight in New Haven. 25-16. Yale wins the fourth set, and now it's a race to 15 to see who wins tonight. What a way to start the Yale Invitational. Fifth set coming up. Hours to guess how many sets we'd go.
I can predict volleyball.
So, as we enter the fifth set, human nature would tell you it favors Yale. I mean, they're at home and they just dominated the fourth set. But how many matches have you watched in your life where it just doesn't work that way? The team that wins the fourth set doesn't seem like they really have an advantage in the fifth set. It seems pretty 50-50 usually.
I honestly think it is 50-50. I think Yale has an advantage right now, obviously because they're home. This is their home court. They just had a dominant fourth set performance and they have their fans here. I think that can be a big advantage for them. But I can also see that I also think a fifth set goes very quickly. I think it's all about who gets on a run first. And if a team gets on a run, that's where the momentum is. And it is so quick and so difficult to start and to stop in a fifth set match. So it'll be very interesting. I think it's very 50-50 right now.
Well, this set has gotten off to a better start than the last two for Villanova. Remember, they were down 4-0 and 5-0 in each of the last two sets.
Yeah, they did. They needed a first point right there.
Chance for a second here. It's Harrell. Kept alive by Deal. Barr pushes it over. Harrell again. Mendoza there for it. Schultz trying to pick the corner. Not sure if that was staying in. Villanova played it. Good now. That was tip. Point Yale.
Both teams right now are playing extremely scrappy defense. I think they're doing a great job not letting the ball hit the court. You see them diving, getting one-arm touches, just getting that ball up as quick as they can and just trying to keep it alive. I think that is what is really fun to watch right now. Is you see it right there, Deal just sticking out her arm. It's barely getting off the ground, but it's up and it's happening. And I think it is doing a great job to this game. It is allowing these teams to have a blast and have so much fun being out there and playing in these long rallies.
Big block there from Abraham and good now. Abraham got her hands on that, but Villanova gets the point. It's 2-2. You know, not all 5-set matches are created equal, right? And as far as they go, I think both teams are pretty fresh here because none of the first 4 sets have been particularly long or arduous or anything like that. 3 of them were decided by 7 points or more. So despite the fact that the match is this close, the sets haven't been.
Exactly. That's what kind of shocks me, but doesn't surprise me in this fifth set because it is such a quick game. I mean, it is over at 15. So if you are a team that gets on a lead right away, you've got a huge advantage and you've got to use that to close it off in this fifth set. And I think right now that both teams don't want to let that happen because they know how fast these fifth sets can just go.
Deal chooses the middle. Abraham pays it off. 13 kills, 1 error, and a hit percentage over 600 for Larice Abraham tonight.
Both middles for Yale are just honestly producing at such a high level, and it is extremely fun to watch right now.
Good now. Almost. First to 15, win by 2 here in the fifth set. Schultz from the back row. Villanova's got 2 in a row. What did you used to tell yourself, your teammates, about keeping your composure in a fifth set?
You just got to take it 1 point at a time. For how quick this set goes by, It's all about 1 point at a time. It doesn't matter where the game is. You can get any type of momentum in a volleyball game. There's no saying you can't do this, you can't do that. You can always get a level of momentum. And I think right now, that's how you compose yourself. Is this game is not over until the ref blows the whistle. It's not over until he gets down from the ref stand. So all you have to do is remember to take it 1 point at a time, figure out how you can fix that next ball and make it better than the ball before.
New career high, 19 kills for Betsy Goodnow. Service error there against Mendoza. Remember, at the end of the fourth set, we were wondering if Tara Garvey had earned herself some playing time in the fifth set, and she's in now. 4 kills and 4 swings at the end of the fourth set after not entering the match prior. And an ace for Harrell. And Villanova has its first lead since 1-0 in this fifth set.
You just mentioned Goodnow and her new career high. Abraham is 1 kill short from tying her career high from last week.
Deal. Maybe another joust here. Ends up on the Villanova side again. Tara Garvey, welcome back, 7-5.
I mean, how can you not give her an opportunity? She has so much energy on this court. She came in with so much energy, was putting the ball down, was bringing that energy for her team. How can you not give her another opportunity to continue to grow and do what she did in this fourth set and bring it alive in the fifth? And that's exactly what she's doing.
Service error on Villanova. It's 7-6. Prior to that point, Erin Appelman looked like she was going to take a timeout. Went over to Zach Drosch, the down ref, and then said, never mind. And it worked out. Goodnow gives it a
What
time.
a beautiful dig by Goodnow.
Another chance for Villanova. Chance for Yale to tie. Lauren Kellen dug out by Harrell. Pat Young, Goodnow, another dig. Extended rally here. Goodnow for the back row. Comes back to Yale. Gigi Poor is stuffed. Ozzy Ozino.
These long rallies are where is off the opponent's offense. And I think right now it all comes down to who's putting that ball down, who's killing that ball for that other team. And right now, this defense is so fun to watch. It's making these rallies super fun to watch. And these teams are doing a great job.
That was a booming kill from Kara Schultz.
I mean, all power behind that swing. She came down, she looked at her team, she screamed at them. She is fired up in this fifth set. Feel better, keep giving her that ball.
Villanova looks to answer, and they can't. 8-8. So the changeover timeout seems to have benefited the home team. Back-to-back points, and it's 8-8. Carly Deal, 45 assists and 9 digs tonight. Young. Chance for a Yale lead, and Carly Deal does what Carly Deal does.
She does what she does best. She knows that court. She knows when it's the right time to dump. She knows that Villanova has been reading her all night, and she knows when to do it best.
How does Villanova stop the run? Schultz again. Give Yale the point. Timeout, Villanova.
I think right now, if you're Villanova, you're really struggling to find a way to get out of this. I think you're playing really well. Make one little unforced error, but it is very difficult. This is where the home court advantage comes to play. You hear the crowd, you see the crowd, they're all dancing, they're celebrating right now. I think that they are, excited to be there. I think they are doing a great job being able to contain this energy that is being thrown at them. And this is where this home court advantage comes to play.
It's a 4-0 Yale run. And Aaron Appleman's team went into the changeover timeout, chasing 2. And now they have Villanova 2 points in the rearview mirror at 10-8. And Joe Portland, who's acting as the head coach tonight, needs to find a way to get his team back into the 5th set. Yale needs 5 points to win the match and extend their home win streak. Carly Deal still serving. Deal sets it up for good now. Into the block, but into the net. And it's a 20-kill night for Betsy Goodnow.
She is just having herself a night. She is doing a great job hitting it right through that block. She's finding the hand. She's finding the weaknesses in the strength of that block, and she's using her power to get it right through that block, which is just super impressive.
Tara Garvey stops the Yale run. It was 5-0. For Villanova, it feels like you need to take a half second here and say, as bad as the last 5 minutes were for us, we're only down by 2.
Yeah, for Villanova, you got to remember that this is such a quick set, but you're still in it. You got to remain calm. You got to find a way to continue to make the plays that are needed to be made. And right now, that play needed to be made, and that's what is a struggle for Villanova right now. And I think they're finding the ways that they need to make a play in this moment and be able to compete when this set is almost over.
Lewis tried to go cross court. Aria Ju has her 13th dig. And Isabella Mendoza has her 13th kill. Villanova wants another timeout here. Yale is 2 points away from winning this match in 5 and extending the home win streak to 23. Not to kind of play the cliche of it, but you can almost feel the heart of a champion coming out in Yale tonight after what was, candidly, a really poor end of the 3rd set. They've run Villanova out of the building since.
Yeah, you can see it on the court. It's that home court advantage. It's that I've won the last 22 games at home. I'm not losing my streak tonight. They are out there. They are here for a fight. You can see it in every single play they are putting forward. They are doing an amazing job finding ways to rebound from quick mistakes and finding ways to put a ball down just like it's needed.
Wildcats are out of timeouts. They are nearing being out of time. Kara Schultz to serve. Lewis. GG Barr in the joust. Good now, trying to put it down. Great play by Nelson. Free ball for Yale. Good now. Match point.
I mean, good now is the go-to. I think the best part about this gym is that it is not even full. And it is so loud in here. The way the fans are cheering, engaged, oohing, awing at the plays that Yale is making on the court. It is very impressive. And no wonder Yale has this home court advantage.
You're going to get a challenge on that last point from Joe Portland. See if there was a net fault or not.
I think one of the unique things about the challenge system is in the last set, in the fifth set, both coaches get one. They also get 2 timeouts. But once they burn 2 timeouts, sometimes coaches will use a challenge call to, 1, obviously hope that maybe there was a net, or 2, to use it as a 3rd timeout. I think that's what Joe is doing right now.
Now, what do you think about that? Because in most sports, if you don't have timeouts left, you can't challenge anymore. And the reason is because you shouldn't be allowed, in some people's mind, to use a challenge as a timeout. So what do you think?
I think that it should be allowed. I don't think, at least in my experience, I've never seen a coach use a challenge that just was completely out of character. I think they always use them in close plays where it can happen, but I think that it definitely could be allowed because in that moment, you are challenging something. Say it does work in your favor. Yeah, you did use it as a timeout and as a way for you to hope that maybe the call would be reversed, and it did. So now you got a chance to make a comeback. And at 14-9, I think it's a very smart thing to do.
Well, the call will stand, and it is, in fact, match point for Yale. So from 2 sets to 1 down and 8-6 down in the 5th set, Yale is 1 point away from winning this match. And apparently Villanova did have a timeout left. I don't think they did.
I don't think they did either.
Yeah, they definitely did not. All right, so there we go. No time.
There we go. No timeouts left.
That we can both agree you're not allowed to do, right?
We can agree you can't do.
Aaron Appleton with a smile.
I would be smiling too if my winning streak was going to be extended another day.
Kara Schultz will serve for it. It's a good serve. Young off the block. Here's the chance for Yale. Betsy Goodnow kept alive by the Wildcats. Young again. Aria Jew another dig. Deal goes to Mendoza, and she is blocked, so it's 14-10. Great fight for the Wildcats all night.
Not done fighting yet.
And Erin Appleman does have timeouts left, and she will use them. So, while we're still somewhat near the topic, here's my thought on the rule. If you've used your timeouts, you can challenge, but you can't talk to your team while the play is being reviewed.
I think that's a good way to put it. I think that's
Just
smart.
an idea.
Are you against a 3rd timeout?
I don't necessarily feel great about being able to take a timeout when you've already taken your timeouts, basically.
Understood.
You know, there are other sports like in hockey, if you don't have timeouts and you lose a challenge, it's a penalty. Now, in volleyball, we don't have that. You don't take somebody else off the court.
Yeah.
But it's just an idea. Something we can discuss more tomorrow.
If you're Joe, you're thinking that this timeout called was another free gift for you.
Yeah. So for Villanova, Kat Young will serve. We'll see if a Cat can have success in a home of Bulldogs. Still match point. Carly Deal picks out Betsy Goodnow, and she ends this match. 23 in a row at home for the Yale.